that was the first meeting of the presidents.
While serving as Washington's Secretary of State for more than 2 decades, Ralph Munro met presidents, made critical policy decisions, and served as an ambassador for the state. But it was a trip he made as a young member of Governor Dan Evans' staff 40 years ago that may be the most significant part of his legacy.
That you've actually done something that made a difference in their lives and maybe saved their life. So it's pretty nice.
Then on the morning of the 29th of April, North Vietnamese artillery began shelling the airport and their forward commando units attacked the city's outer defenses.
Saigon had just fallen to the Viet Cong. The war was over and tens of thousands of South Vietnamese were forced to immediately flee the country. Many ended up at a makeshift refugee camp at Camp Pendleton in San Diego. California's governor, then and now, Jerry Brown, did not want them in his state. Governor Evans was infuriated by Brown's declaration and decided Washington would welcome the refugees with open arms.
It's funny, you never heard him swear. He hardly ever swore. And he said, if you see that son of a Jerry Brown, you remind him what it says on the base of the Statue of Liberty. And I've never forgotten that.
Munro hopped on a plane to California and made the pitch in person to the refugees. 500 heeded his call and headed north to begin a new life in Washington. 1,000 more came the following year.
The Department of Social and Health Services, which was a little bit different department at that time, but they really stepped forward in all the local offices all over the state and tried to figure out, okay, how can we help?
Washington's stance on Vietnamese refugees provided an opportunity for families like the Hoangs. Truong Hoang, now an administrator at Rainier Community Service Office, was only 4 when his father decided to commandeer a boat and flee the country in 1979.
In the middle of the night, we were all rushed out, put on the boat, had no idea what was going on. And I guess my father and the other guys on the boat tied up the guards and stole the boat.
After a stint in a Malaysian refugee camp, the Hoangs eventually settled in Olympia. The new life was difficult, though. Truong's father worked the graveyard shift at a lumber yard, while his mother found several jobs to help make ends meet. Eventually, the family saved enough to open the Thai Garden restaurant. Truong never forgot the generosity he and his family were shown when they arrived in Washington, and the experience motivated him to pursue a career at DSHS.
For me, I always wanted to give back and make a difference in the community, and so specifically my degree's in psychology, so I always wanted to go into social services.
Munro has kept in touch with families like the Hoangs for the past 4 decades. He's watched their children grow up, head off to college, and start families of their own. He says the connection to their community is why the trip to Camp Pendleton and welcoming the Vietnamese into Washington has always stood out as a highlight of his distinguished career.
The state has benefited by them being here, and they've made life better for all of us.